How do you do? I'm very happy to have this personal visit with you. Won't you be seated, please?
Why most people stay broke, and how the disciplined mind escapes. There is a truth so uncomfortable that most people spend their entire lives running from it. It has nothing to do with money itself, yet it determines who has it and who never will. It has nothing to do with talent, intelligence, or even opportunity, yet it quietly decides who rises and who remains trapped. The truth is this: most people are not broke because the world is unfair, they are broke because their thinking is undisciplined. And an undisciplined mind will always create an undisciplined life. Poverty is not just an empty wallet. It is a pattern, a rhythm, a way of seeing the world. It is the habit of reacting instead of directing, of consuming instead of creating, of wishing instead of deciding. Long before money disappears from the bank account, it disappears from the imagination. Long before a person says, "I can't afford it," they have already accepted a smaller version of themselves as normal. Look closely and you will see it everywhere. People waking up already defeated, already behind, already exhausted by a life they didn't consciously design. They move fast but think slowly. They stay busy but never build momentum. They confuse motion with progress and distraction with opportunity. And at the center of it all is a mind that has never been trained to command itself. Napoleon Hill observed this pattern decades ago, and it has not changed. The majority drift. They drift in thought, drift in purpose, drift in habits, drift in finances. They allow circumstance to decide their direction, emotion to decide their action, and fear to decide their limits. They do not lack effort, they lack focus. They do not lack dreams, they lack discipline. And without discipline, desire decays into frustration. The broke mind chases relief. The disciplined mind builds results. One looks for comfort today. The other invests in tomorrow. One asks, "How do I feel right now?" The other asks, "Who am I becoming?" And those questions, asked daily, unconsciously, shape two completely different destinies. History does not celebrate the lucky. It celebrates the disciplined. Andrew Carnegie did not escape poverty by chance. He escaped it by mastering his thinking, by choosing long-term mastery over short-term pleasure, by aligning his habits with a clear vision instead of temporary emotion. Henry Ford did not build an empire by working harder than everyone else. He built it by thinking differently, by disciplining his attention, his time, and his standards. Walt Disney was not rescued from bankruptcy by hope. He was pulled forward by a refusal to abandon his vision, even when the world gave him every reason to quit. This is the dividing line. Most people quit internally long before they quit outwardly. They settle mentally while still appearing busy. They accept limits quietly, then build routines around those limits and call it realism. They say things like, "This is just how life is," or "money changes people," or "not everyone can be rich," never realizing those phrases are not observations, they are confessions. A disciplined mind does not argue with reality, it reshapes it. It understands that money is attracted to value, and value is created by focus, learning, consistency, and service. It understands that wealth is not a single event but a system of thinking first, then acting, then refining, then repeating. And that system begins with control over one thing most people never master: themselves. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. It is the ability to delay gratification without resentment. It is the strength to do what is necessary long after the excitement fades. It is waking up and choosing intention over impulse, direction over distraction, purpose over pleasure. And every time discipline is exercised, the mind grows stronger. Every time it is avoided, the mind grows weaker. The broke mind lives in reaction mode. It waits for motivation. It waits for the perfect opportunity. It waits for confidence to arrive before acting. The disciplined mind understands a higher law. Action creates clarity, and clarity fuels confidence. It does not wait to feel ready. It moves, learns, adjusts, and moves again. It treats mistakes as tuition, not as verdicts. Gratitude also plays a role few understand. The undisciplined mind is always focused on what is missing. The disciplined mind is grounded in what is present and uses it fully. Gratitude sharpens awareness. It turns what you have into leverage instead of limitation. It trains the mind to see possibility instead of scarcity. And scarcity thinking, left unchecked, is one of the most expensive habits a person can have. Adaptability separates those who escape from those who stay trapped. The world changes. Markets shift. Technology evolves. Entire industries disappear. The undisciplined mind resists change and calls it unfair. The disciplined mind studies change and uses it. It learns continuously. It updates its skills. It reinvents itself without clinging to identity. It understands that security is not found in stability, but in the ability to adapt faster than circumstances can collapse. Resilience is built the same way, not through comfort, but through commitment. Failure does not scare the disciplined mind, it instructs it. Rejection does not stop it, it sharpens it. Setbacks do not define it, they refine it. The difference is never the size of the obstacle. It is the strength of the internal structure facing it. And slowly, quietly, almost invisibly at first, the disciplined mind begins to escape. Not in one dramatic leap, but in daily decisions stacked on top of each other. Better choices, clearer priorities, stronger standards, less noise, more intention, and one day, the life that once felt impossible becomes inevitable, because wealth is not something you chase forever. It is something you grow into, and the moment you decide to discipline your mind, the moment you stop negotiating with weakness and start honoring your future, is the moment the escape truly begins.